Well, we just got news I thought we may get, and that is that Dreamchasers cards will have 3 playstyle pluses, or at least some of them are going to. We have a couple of leaks for that right now. We've also got another Team of the Week change as well, and I think any Team of the Week change at this point is good, but I don't know. We will discuss it, and also some pack leaks as well. They're kind of interesting. The update, by the way, broke the PC version for a lot of people out there. There's no more frame rate caps. Settings aren't saving. The PC version of this game is so bad. It is so unoptimized, but if you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. But all right, we'll start with the FUT birthday upgrade. Evolution again. Thank you for being here, by the way. We are 100 subs away from 20k, and yeah, the FUT birthday upgrade came out, and let's just go look at the best options, I guess. The best option seems to be Curtis Jones so far. Can you get to Curtis Jones in a matter of 13 days? I think most people probably will be able to, but this card in this Evo would actually be worth it to me. If you guys didn't see, by the way, it was actually 75k upon release, and that's why it says 75k here, but it's actually 7.5k. They changed it, which is nice to see. But yeah, the best one other than that, it's like maybe you could say Florenzi or Lobotka, but honestly, just wait for Curtis Jones is what I would do. Maybe if you want a +2 pace boost on this Mats Hummels, then you could do that, but other than that, it's not that exciting. And also, we're back at the same point again here, where it's only 7,500 coins or 150 FIFA points, right? It's super cheap, but just the fact that it is that cheap, why is it not free then, right? So we asked that yesterday, and I'm thinking that the only reason that it isn't is because there will be a day coming up here where the free evolutions will no longer probably exist. We're probably going to get at least a 7,500 coin or 100 FC point Evo at the bare minimum, and the free ones will unfortunately be done without. And EA will justify that by probably doing a, hey, we're going to make the upgrades higher overall for all of them, so don't worry, there are going to be better evolutions coming out. It has nothing to do with us wanting to monetize the shit out of them. No, we're going to make them better, and that's why we have to make them paid. We have no choice. So yeah, basically, I think you should just get ready for the idea that Spin Cycle will be the future of the cheapest Evo, and you might even see a couple more free ones come out, but we might get to the point eventually here where there just isn't anymore. And what do you make of that? It is basically, if you have a lot of coins, you play the game consistently, they still are basically free. But I did see this tweet earlier today. Yeah, it was from Bakelme here. If you did every paid Evo that's come out since the start of the birthday promo, you would be down about 1.2 million coins. How is everyone keeping up with the crazy amount of coins needed to keep doing Evos? Now, keep in mind here, you don't have to do every single one of them, of course, but if you are somebody who is doing a themed squad, right? Say you're doing, I don't know, a Scottish team, a Romanian team, something like that, you probably want to do all of them because that kind of helps keep your cards in the power curve a little bit. So yeah, you don't have to do all of them, but it is disappointing for those people who do want to play the game with a theme squad. I think that's where it comes in, because I was seeing some comments too yesterday where people were saying like, this is still so much better than packs, and I completely agree with you. I think it is still a lot better than packs because you know what you're buying with these. But I do just I worry because we know how far they push monetization down our throats. I wonder if they're gonna shove this down without our consent. I don't know why I tried to make some sort of joke there. I should have just stopped a long time ago, but I'm afraid where this is going to go, right? That's what I worry about a little bit. And I know I've said that a million times now. The last like 3 or 4 videos I've said that, I think, in all of them, so I apologize for just repeating myself a bunch. But I think this last week has been a very interesting time in how they view the future of evolutions, and just how many we see now and what they do with them is, to me, just an interesting thing to talk about and discuss, right? But okay, we got Dreamchasers icons here. The official card design, R9's a prediction, but we got word that the icons at least are going to have 3 playstyle pluses. I don't know if he means all of them or some of them, but then we got word, I think literally like a half an hour later, that Lucio is in the promo, and he also is going to have 3 playstyle pluses as well here. And this is the official hero design there. And we have no other info about the promo, really. I'm assuming these are the official stats, and the 3 playstyle pluses are the official ones. And then FUT Agent actually replied to the other tweet and said, Dreamchasers 3 playstyle pluses, FUT Agent will help you with evolutions, which I don't even know what that means. He gives us no info about if the Evos will have 3 playstyle pluses or not. But then we got this teaser as well. This tweet from FUT Police Leaks here. He drops 6 different emojis, and it's like, all right, so he did some sort of hidden message here in the emojis. And Ironicus, I think, figured it out perfectly. He says ZZZ plus clouds equals dream, running man equals chaser, so it's Dreamchasers Brazilian icon SBC. And that does make a lot of sense. So well done, Justin, there. But we've already seen Socrates, so you'd assume maybe it's going to be Cafu or Kaká probably, like this comment says here. I guess Zico or Roberto Carlos are two potentials as well there. So I actually didn't really narrow it down that much. I was just thinking like, okay, it can't be R9, Pele, or Dino, right? You would assume it can't be those three. But all right, we have no word whether it's a live promo, what it even entails. We have no idea. And then today with Team of the Week, we got this news, and that is that many cards will have 2 playstyle pluses now, not just the featured ones. Bigger upgrades apparently as well. And these are the official stats coming out today in today's Team of the Week. And let's actually zoom in a bit so we can kind of get a better look here. We got Messi with technical and dead ball, and the card actually looks a lot like some of his promo cards out there. But you will see very quickly here, EA are doing what EA do. And I know that some of the Team of the Weeks like represent how they scored their goals. Like Messi's, for example, right? Messi scored a free kick, gets dead ball plus. Makes sense. But you've got, you'll just see coming up here, Victor Osimhen, Finesse Plus, and then Acrobat Plus, okay? Debinha, Trivella, and Trickster, which I've actually been waiting for a nice Debinha special card. She was insane last year. Fabian, Pinged, and Relentless, okay? Bruno Fernandes, Long Ball, First Touch. So you see what they're doing here, right? They pretty much maybe one Team of the Week a week ends up with like 2 good playstyle pluses. And I mean, the First Touch is good, but Incisive and Long Ball, like you're just not going to see that combined. You're not going to see Tiki Taka and Long Ball, or extremely rarely you will see that. And I just don't get that part. Playa here is the featured Team of the Week, or one of them, First Touch and Incisive with the stats there. That's like, okay, they'll probably fit into some Evos, so that will end up being a pretty good card actually through evolutions there. But let's zoom in, like Frimpong down here, Rapid and Jockey. Okay, those are 2 okay playstyles for like a right back. Fagioli, Pinged, Impress, Proven, Carpenter, Rapid, and Incisive, and then Bonda has Finesse and Chip. So yes, I'm probably being a little nitpicky here, but it really just is a strange one from EA that when we get Team of the Week changes, they still don't want to like fully do it. We get like one Team of the Week a week maybe, or one every other week that's like, oh my god, that card actually looks pretty damn good, like a promo card almost, when we could see 3 or 4 a week and make Team of the Week interesting, make rewards interesting in Weekend League, because you get 3 Team of the Week packs per Weekend League, or sorry, 3 players in a Team of the Week pack per Weekend League, right? Just it'll add so much spice to things, and I just think they hold back so much at certain times for a reason I don't really get. But at least we're seeing changes. That's better than previous years, so I'm happy about that. And I wonder if 3 will come in here soon as well. But here's the full list of the Team of the Week. You got like Smalling in there. Yeah, not many super popular names, but hopefully some nice cards in there would be pretty cool. But do you guys think we'll even see Team of the Week next year? You know, what are they going to do with Team of the Week? They're trying to do so many different things, and I don't know if they just get to a point where they just don't even bother anymore, and they're like, yeah, fuck it, who cares anymore? And it's one of those things that falls victim to, we neglected it for so long, it became unpopular, then they remove it because it's unpopular. It's like, how did it get unpopular in the first place? Moments game mode. Why did Moments never take off or do anything at all? You didn't even make a fucking attempt to make it good, right? Okay, on to some pack leaks. I'm only showing you this really for one reason. Well, I guess there's a Gillette pack here, so we got a Gillette pack that looks like the State Farm pack. I guess EA getting their bag for that. But 11 mixed gold players pack contains 9 common golds and 2 rare players. Anytime there's a pack in here that could be a menu grind type pack, I'm always interested, because it's weird that this is even here when we have the daily gold upgrades, right? So how, or like where would this come into play with also the daily gold upgrade being in the game already? So I don't know where this will be used at. The other page is store packs. I'm not even gonna bother showing you them. We got FUT Agent back again here saying more 89 overall evolutions coming, decent stats and play styles, not big. And this was before today's content where we got that FUT birthday evo that is max 89, but he does say more evolutions coming, which would imply more than one. And we still got 2 more evos left to drop for FUT birthday Wednesday and Thursday, right? Yeah, okay. There's also this EA tweet today that they were going to release this FUT birthday campaign trade-in. That was apparently planned today, and they decided to not release it 5 minutes before content came out. And it's funny because do you wonder if we've had a couple of these, right? Do you almost think that maybe them stopping this right before content, maybe these pack odds were glitched again, right? You know, there could be so many things wrong with it, but you do wonder if there were some pack odds glitches, you know, since that whole Dino incident. Then we had the Holland incident. You know, that was all pre the bad PR that EA got from the bad release and the money being down. You know, since that article, they've been very much so like better with certain things, because I think they've needed to be, and they've been so scared for that to happen again. And because they ended up losing a lot of money that day, you do wonder how much more they're testing things compared to when they used to. Because would it be shocking to hear that 30 minutes before content, they tested it out quickly and ran how many simulations of it, and layout was popping up like crazy? Wouldn't surprise any of us, I don't think, at all, right? And then one of the more replied to tweets today was Fut Rory. Crazy we haven't had exchanges yet. FC24, everyone's favorite SBC. FC25, EA haven't released them. It makes 0 sense. Crying laughing emoji, crying laughing emoji. To be honest with you, it does make sense. I think not like necessarily in a if they wanted to be nice to us way and give us just more options to use our duplicate fodder into, but it makes sense from EA's point of view that it would just be too overpowered. I think they gave us SBC storage, and they already I don't know if they fully grasped the consequences of us having SBC storage. You know, every SBC that comes out now is like 4 squads, right? That's because we have SBC storage. People have unlimited 83s at this point. Now maybe they predicted all of that. I think they predicted some of it. We did have Fut Sheriff leaking before the year began that exchanges would come in just later, but we're so far in now. You know, we're getting towards we're a month from team of the season and we haven't seen him yet. Would they add him during team of the season? I mean, maybe they could. It'd be pretty late on, but maybe. This year especially, we've seen them add more things in this year than in previous years by like 3-fold. So there's a chance, but it does make sense from their point of view that they'd be like, okay, we gave them this, we don't want to make it too good. And I lean towards we won't see them this year, but there's always a chance. And also Reddit today was just PC players basically complaining about the update breaking the game for them. Corners and kickoffs, it's been bad. Apparently there has been some reports of squad battles crashing on console being worse post-patch. I haven't seen that like in too many places, so I can't say it's confirmed or not. But if you play on PC and it's been bad since the update, I think you have to be on a third-party software like the NVIDIA control panel to actually cap your FPS, and that might help. But yeah, this game on PC is a joke. You guys know how many problems I've had. It is severely unoptimized, and also Rush right now is apparently giving out more points to losers. If you lose in this recent Rush that just came out today, you apparently are getting more points. And some are saying that they've been playing Rush with their friends and they're getting wildly different point totals than their friends, like double, right? Some are getting double the points that other friends are getting in the same game. So that appears to be broken as well. Least broken EA Sports update, right? But okay, with the knowledge now that 3 playstyle plus cards are coming into the game, my guess would be it's just like the top few, and it's not going to be all of them. If it's the whole team, then you will see the market drop like 100% on these top end cards. My guess would be you'll see 4 of the Dreamchasers cards, 2 of the icons, and then 2 of the heroes have 3 would be my guess out of like 40 promo cards or 35 promo cards, something like that. But pretty much no matter what this means now for team of the year cards, if you have really expensive 3 playstyle plus cards, they will eventually drop. They've reached that point now where they're gonna be more often. We haven't even seen a single one apart from them yet. If you have team of the year cards, it's pretty much gonna be like, hey, you have to expect from here on out they're not gonna go any higher, which is always the case post, you know, March. But we're reaching that point now, and especially like the high end 1 playstyle plus cards, if it ends up being the case where you do see 1 or 2 cheaper 3 playstyle plus cards, you're just the 1 playstyle pluses are going to be done for. And the thing that's interesting is that I don't know what they're going to do for team of the season this year, considering last year, you know, you had Galazzo Team 2 was the last promo team before team of the season live, which most of them had 3 playstyle pluses or earned a 3rd playstyle plus, and TOTS Premier League had all of them with 3 playstyle pluses. But the second Galazzo team came out and none of them had 3. So I wonder what the difference will be. How far will EA go to make some kind of difference for team of the season? Because what is feasible is, like we talked about yesterday, it is feasible that you see maybe 10 cards in this promo team coming up here with 3. Then you have Immortals come out where more of them have 3. And then you're at team of the season where do all of them have 3, or then do some of them, the top ones, have 4? You know, how will they go that extra mile this year compared to what they did last year? And if that's the case, then you're going to be looking at like the top end market will die much quicker this year. It's been pretty like stable for the most part because the playstyle pluses on team of the years were 3 and we haven't seen any since then. But just beware of that we're gonna get to a point here where if these paid evos also continue, that will drain coins from the market as well, which will just make things a little bit lower. So you're looking at just being good probably on most mid-range cards right now, talking in the few 100,000 coins, which probably shouldn't do too badly. Just the really top end stuff I actually think will start to dip here. Okay, let's read your comments now. And Doc and Rum, I won't read the whole thing here, talking about how he thinks that EA Sports probably utilizes many of the same strategies as DraftKings to target the most vulnerable gambling addicts. And as you guys know, there's been so many theories over the years of pack weight and it being very personalized and things like that. And he even says here, EA collects a ton of data on us. I'm sure they can predict with a high degree of certainty which specific player in a promo you are chasing. And I'll bet that one player has much lower likelihood of showing up for you. And let's be honest here, all of these there's no legitimate proof in, which is a very important piece of the puzzle. You need proof for things, but the problem is we won't probably ever get that proof. We won't we don't have access to the back end like that. It would take basically an EA whistleblower to come out and say these things or prove these things, right? And of course, there is that slight chance that that isn't happening because they're just not competent enough to do a system like that. But it is hard to believe that a company with this many resources, this much power, would sit back and go, yeah, it's not really moral, but like this would make us more money. And they went, yeah, let's hold back though because it's immoral. Like they, like I don't think they're gonna do that. If a higher up at EA get approached tomorrow with like, hey, we have this sort of algorithm that we figured out that we want to test in the game, that it's like we collect a ton of data on them, we can tell what promo players they might want, we'll slip in one here and there, make ones harder to get potentially, all in the chase to keep you on, all in the engagement optimization. Is that higher up gonna go, yeah, we might make some more money off this, but it's immoral? I don't think so, right? And I was going to read this comment here, but Harry Bellingham says the 99 min price glitch wasn't fixed, LMAO. Was that not fixed for you guys? I wasn't seeing anybody talk about that it wasn't fixed. I haven't had it since the update, but if you guys have had that glitch since the update, I am not surprised. Everything else is broken right now. So Inez Adinho does say, though, 1750, I disagree, not this year in total. And at this timestamp, I said they've had to put in effort this year. And I said that without explaining that they've had to put in effort, and they've put in effort post the first 2-3 months of the game that were awful and people got off the game, right? So I meant to add that in there and I forgot to, because yes, they're only putting an effort, and the point I was trying to make yesterday was that they're putting an effort now because they feel like they need to. They finally got a little dip in that revenue and they went, oh fuck, we actually have to, like, okay, let's try again, guys. So if you want to see more of that, then let's not spend FC points. And Creed here says, moves like this are so ill thought out. They prioritize short-term gains over long-term sustainability. Stat limits have every card looking virtually the same. Evolutions will be dead in a couple of years. Do you guys believe that? I don't know if it'll be that far or not, but I do think EA are trying to push the envelope right now, and who knows where it ends up, right? That's kind of where it is a point back to what I was talking about yesterday a little bit, where I was saying we don't see those like little theme stuff anymore. Stuff like St. Patrick's Day or FUT player days or Chinese New Year, right? We don't really see that like little theme stuff anymore, especially stuff that is kind of notorious for like being good for us, which I think Chinese New Year was like half price packs, and Chinese New Year and Black Friday were always like really great times for the non-money spent player. You know, and I talk about those issues, and they're much smaller issues though than things like, yeah, EA pushing monetization further and further, and the gameplay literally changing on a game-to-game basis, right? Those are much more pertinent issues, but also if I hopped on every day and just talked about the same fucking thing, it'd be boring as hell. So I oftentimes will see people talk about how like, hey, how are we talking about this as a problem when there's this? And it's like, you're right, but also I don't want to talk about the exact same things every single day, because for one, it'd be boring, and two, people would want to stop talking about them because we talk about them so much. You'd be like, okay, talk about something different, right? So I want to be able to keep the unresponsive and different gameplay like discussions going a lot, even though we talk about it a lot still. But if I shoved it down your throats every day, which I would like to do that, I would like to shove it down your throats every day, but if I did that every single day, then it'd be like, okay, talk about something different, please, and then maybe the problem gets kind of masked again. Anyway, I think that's it for me. Thank you all for joining and being here. Appreciate you all so much. I love you all. Peace.